Can you see I'm walking here?
We're walking here.
All right, what's going on, you guys? We're breaking down episode 5 of Wandavision today. We saw it. We almost motivated to want to get in there and talk about it. So I got a couple people with me here today. First of all, I'm gonna bring in Chance, my friend. He went to college with Chance. He's got a pretty vast knowledge of the Marvel universe, so I figured why not bring him in and talk to him a little bit about it. Also, I got with me Amanda.
What I.
So Amanda is here with us, and she's also going to be talking with us. She's a big fan. That being said, we're going to get right into it. The first thing I kind of want to talk to you guys, is nobody really knows this or anything about it yet. But at the end of it, they bring in Pietro with Evan Peters. So that being said, at the very beginning of the episode, before anything's said and done, Vision's talking about how he's reading Descent of Man to Billy. I kind of just want to get you guys' thoughts on that. What you thought. It being pre-mutant, I guess, because obviously, this universe doesn't know about mutants, but
yeah. I guess that's what it has to do with evolution, because that's what Charles Darwin's book, right? And it has to do with evolution and and all that, which made everybody mad about the evolution.
Oh yeah, you a big evolutionist there, Chance?
No, I think evolution's dumb. No,
but that being said, maybe this is a sort of a confirmation as to that we are going to get mutants, because it's somewhat of a pass at, what's to come possibly.
I remember in Age of Ultron, they didn't have the rights to the word mutants yet, so they had to use the word enhanced individuals.
Exactly.
And now they got the rights to the mutants as of like a year or two ago. And I think now, for sure, that's how they're going to do it.
Yeah, I think...
And it's pretty ingenious. Do you remember, like, Fresh Prince and Aunt Viv? Like, how they changed her in the middle of this series and, like, didn't tell anything and tried not to say anything?
Yeah.
I think that's what they're doing with, like, Quicksilver. Like, kind of being meta about it.
Well, I think so in the show, but, in real life, they've kind of got to address the fact that, at one point when she opens the door to see him, she's just as confused looking,
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because she knows Pietro's dead, or is it because she doesn't recognize as Pietro, or,
Yeah. I guess it's kind of like I guess it would be confusing as fuck. It's like an alternate universe. It's like a slightly different version of me. Maybe like a white version of me or something.
Exactly.
Like, and now it's just really confusing, because you're like, this guy is familiar looking, but... It's like a TV version of my brother.
Yeah, maybe she's just familiar to a point, that's him, but...
I think like a television version of Quicksilver is like what Evan Peters is, like, really, because like, you remember like the old Quicksilver that was in Marvel for like in one movie, and then that was like Aaron Taylor Johnson, and he was okay. He wasn't really as memorable as Evan Peters, so I think it was pretty. I think everybody kind of assumed that Evan Peters would be the Quicksilver in that universe.
Well, that, and then, Evan Peters had way more of a role as Quicksilver than Aaron Taylor Johnson did ever. He was in the movie for a whole 30 minutes, and...
Yeah, he was pretty annoying in that movie, too. He just really, I don't know, I just didn't really see him as Quicksilver. I don't know a whole lot about Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in the comic books, but, like, I don't know. It seemed like the Evan Peters one, as far as movies and, like, how popular he is with, like, American Horror Story and all that.
Exactly.
It seems like that's, like, the obviously better choice. Aaron Taylor Johnson is also way more serious of an actor.
And then that again plays into the, the sitcom reality of what they're in, He's a little more playful than Aaron would be, because...
Yeah, exactly.
So, I think it's interesting. What do you think about it? Little Miss, you ain't got no words today?
No.
Cat got your tongue, huh?
No.
That's pretty cool that that's the Olsen sisters, like, since that's the twins, the older or younger sister.
Is that their older sister or younger sister? We were going back and forth. Younger.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's, like, way younger. Like, probably, like, 5 or 6 years younger because, I don't know, it's really weird. I didn't even know they had a sister for a long time.
I didn't either.
I just thought the last name was a coincidence.
Yeah. And the homage
it's pretty hilarious that it's acting like it's a Full House now.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I thought that's what the homage to Full House, you know. And then I had seen something earlier where he was talking, or an interview was talking about how they had reached out to Elizabeth Olsen to play Michelle in the Fuller House adaptation.
Really?
Yeah, and she denied, you know, obviously, but.
I would have too.
Yeah,
right.
But I mean, at the same time, you know, how cool to even be approached about it. But,
yeah, that is pretty cool. Like, the whole time, I didn't know that was their sister until, like, a year ago. So, I don't know. It freaked me out when I found out. Because they're really just alike. It's weird.
It's pretty interesting, you know, but I would have never guessed that she was the younger sister of the two, you know.
Yeah, Jet kept telling me she was the older sister.
What'd you say?
Jet kept telling me she was the older sister.
I don't know. She might be. I'm pretty sure.
Let's see.
I don't know. Let's Google it.
Yeah. I'm Google. Let's Google it.
We're gonna Google it real quick.
Google it.
But I mean, while she's doing that, I kind of wanted to move on to the next topic real quick, which I have down was that Wanda's magic isn't working on Billy or Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and I think that's very interesting because later on in the episode, how Monica reveals that, you know, everything is still real. It's just how Wanda wants it to be perceived. So, and the fact that there's still elements that she doesn't control entirely. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's pretty plus.
Yeah, so I thought that was going to be, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I was talking to my cousin about this, and he said he was disappointed because it was just like Wanda creating the world. And I told him that that's really predictable, and I really don't think that, I think that Marvel's kind of past being predictable in this whole WandaVision thing.
Yeah,
Like, I told him that'd be just way too boring for this whole series. Like, you can already tell that there's something else sinister going on.
Oh,
like,
yeah, definitely. I think that's what's going to be really nice. What did you have, Amanda?
So, actually, they have several siblings. She's the younger sister of twins, Mary Kate and Ashley. And then Olsen also has a brother, a younger half-brother, and a younger half-sister. So, two youngers, and then an older brother. Who's the brother?
Mm-hmm. That's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It must be terrible at acting. I'm just playing. Well, do you know, like, Dakota Fanning's little sister? The one who makes way better movies? Like, Ellie? Yeah.
Oh, Ellie Goulding?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see. I was going to see the next one. Agnes comes into the scene, losing her spot. Oh, yeah, that was wild. So,
I think she kind of did that to put the idea in Vision's head that it was all fake.
Do you really?
But why?
Yeah, I don't know why else she would. Because every time, like, I don't know, she never started doing that until the episode that was, like, from the 70s, and she kind of, like, when Vision was outside talking to the neighbor and Agnes, like, she kind of was, like, saying, well, we're just sitting here because and she just wouldn't say anything, and then he came in there and was, like, really confused. And then she said something again in front of him, and yeah, I think that she's, like, kind of got, like, some part of this, and she's trying to sell, like, fuck it up, basically.
Yeah.
I love that you almost called her Agatha.
I know.
Well, I mean,
you're trying really hard not to.
Well, I mean, everybody's already come to. I mean, anybody who's read the comics or anything like that's already come to terms with. They know that it's Agatha Harkness. That's obviously who Agnes has got to be, you know. And that being said, you know,
that makes Ralph who.
Ralph has got to be Mephisto. Well, I mean, and it's a possibility. We don't really know. Nobody's been said. I mean, nothing's been led up to that other than, I mean, what the
That would be
internet said.
crazy if it were, that would be really nuts if it wasn't like Mephisto. Like I don't know. Like yeah, Mephisto has a brother named I can't remember the brother. Ralph. No, it's something else demonic sounding like Bell or something, but or Ball, but yeah, I can't remember, but I don't know. It's gotta be Mephisto. There's no other choice. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. Hold on. Alright. But back to what you were saying about how you think Agnes is trying to kind of sabotage it. I mean, do you think that's what the thing is now? Is Agnes has come to Wanda to help her, or in a sense, and then now she's sabotaging it from the inside. Because I mean, at the same time, so the last week's episode where Agnes, I get them mixed up too now, but Agnes is telling the guy to stop it, and they're trying to tell Vision that something's wrong with what's going on.
Yeah.
I forget the neighbor's name, but
black dude with the afro.
Yeah.
Like in the 70s episode, like he was outside like cutting his fence, like chopping his fence up instead of like chopping a tree or bushes or anything. Like
which is weird that they made it as if it was like a glitch,
Yeah, or like they were running on like low percent CPU, like in Rick and Morty whenever they were in that simulation.
Exactly.
Well, that's why. Where the kids are.
Yeah. So that was the episode that the kids had been born.
That he was chopping the.
Yeah. So.
Beef.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
So what had happened was the kids had just been born when they're trying to reveal something to Vision. That being said, maybe her breaking, or by having the kids, it breaks something in the spell or the trance that causes
maybe.
that.
Her kids, they become like they stay there. Like I'm pretty sure her kids are gonna be like in the Marvel universe for a while. Like I don't think they're gonna go anywhere. So they actually like materialize. They're real. And that's how it goes in the comic books. They just pop up out of nowhere. She just gets pregnant one day, and it's weird because Vision isn't supposed to be able to impregnate her. So
yeah, because I mean, Vision's just a sentient being, and then that's weird.
He's basically a machine,
All right. Well, the next thing that bringing up is, I wrote down. It seems like Wanda is somewhat in a trance and trying her best to convince Vision that so maybe I think you're hitting the nail on the spot with that. Agnes is trying to throw a kink in everything. I hadn't really thought about it, and that when you said that, I mean, that was like, that makes sense. Why wouldn't
Yeah, she was good for a while, and then now she's like obviously like being way dumber about everything.
Yeah. That's the next.
When she used her magic in front of Agnes, also.
Yeah, that's what I was. The next point I had written down was, being comfortable around Agnes. Like she knows who she is.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, she obviously looked like she knew that guy named Harker or something, the agent that's an asshole. Like
Haywood. Yeah, that. Seeing that, or not Haywood, Hayward.
Yeah, Hayward. Yeah.
But
obviously, it looked like she knew him. Like it was wild.
Yeah, because
she made direct eye contact.
Yeah, she made direct eye contact
and said, "I have what I want."
Had fixated all the guns on Hayward, and then looked at her when she said, "This is your only warning," So I mean, I feel like she knew who he was, but I don't see why. I think the main thing that what it brings me to is my point is going in that video that he had just authorized or had just been authorized to show people of Wanda stealing Vision's body. If you stop and look at if you stop and look at that for a second, you realize that why does Sword have Vision's body? Why is it
Yeah.
why is it being dissected? You know, and him talking about in the earlier episodes how they're fixated on working on nanotechnology and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah. And Vision's will was like he doesn't want to be turned into a weapon. So they were either taking him apart to like take all the pieces and like separate him so he can't be turned into a weapon, or they were turning him into a weapon.
Right.
Which I
But
100%
the history of like Shield and all that, obviously they're probably gonna turn him into a weapon.
Yeah.
'Cause that's how they are. Like
Exactly. I mean, that's just it goes back to Tony saying that to have a shield around the world. You know. All right. I wanted to also point out. So I was watching the intro. The little bitty WandaVision intro. I thought it was funny. I had seen once they were doing like a cake with like a birthday picture, and Billy and Tommy were standing in front of it, and they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought
That's pretty hilarious, honestly.
I
They
thought-
just like they just grew out of nowhere and they just keep growing. I don't know if they did that in the actual comic book. I can't remember, but that was really weird.
And you were saying that it's based off of House of M, right?
It
Or you're
seems like
thinking-
where everybody's wishes come true.
Mm-hmm.
Like Wolverine is for some reason the only one that I can remember because he has a healing factor with memory. And
So maybe that's who he's bringing in.
Maybe that they're
Maybe
talking.
that's
They
who
keep
it's
talking.
gonna be.
They keep talking about like this pristine actor that they've always wanted to work with. In the interviews. So the idea that it's someone like Hugh Jackman, I think that's kind of funny.
it was great. Hugh Jackman came in like Uncle Jesse from Full House.
That's what Jen said last night.
And I don't know, James McAvoy would obviously be another, because he was like throughout the whole House of M, while everybody is living in this reality where all their wishes come true. You can hear Professor X constantly trying to get Wanda to stop all this on the outside, and he's always talking to her throughout the whole House of M, and he's trying to break that reality. So either him or Magneto or Hugh Jackman, I guess. Cause those are like,
I think any of those would be, just outstanding. Especially to be. I think it's fun that they introduced Quicksilver as the first X-Men. Because it's not that he's a huge, X-Men character, but he's a fun, lovable character. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I lost my shit when I first saw that.
Oh man,
oh my God.
I was screaming.
Yeah.
Screaming at the TV.
Oh yeah.
I had to go spoil it for Blake because he was the only person I knew who cared, but he never watched Wandavision, so I was just like, dude, they just brought Evan Peters.
Oh, bro.
I had to. I was like, dude, I had to talk to somebody. I was like, it's about to go big crazy. I was like, this is just the beginning. Like, there's gonna be Evan Peters and somebody else big is coming in. Because,
That's
Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen are kind of like, I don't know, as far as them, they're not really like TV actors. Like Evan Peters is like American Horror Story icon.
Yeah, he's got that background.
He was the one that they were talking about, like a really prestigious actor that they always wanted to work with. Like, I like Evan Peters, but he's just not really on that level like that.
Yeah, he's definitely not some Ian McKellen or he's not. He's not a Hugh Jackman or of any sorts or anything like that. But he is a huge actor. But I think that it's playful, and I think that's the best thing that they could have done.
Yeah. It would be hilarious if they brought Ian McKellen too.
Oh yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Well, them introducing a multiverse of sorts, there's no telling who you can bring in. At that point, you've got no limitations when it comes to story or lines.
Yeah, dude. It's about to get crazy.
Exactly.
Well, they replaced Jennifer Lawrence. She was never really that good at a Mystique. But,
yeah.
Like, you remember the old Mystique with Rebecca Romaine Stamos? She played that Mystique that was always naked, kind of like in the original X-Men movies.
I think so. And that's so funny because I always thought it was someone before Jennifer Lawrence. I was like, who is that? But,
she did a really good job too. Jennifer Lawrence is like just Jennifer Lawrence. You know,
I'm a freak and I'm mad about it.
Yeah, and like, yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, another thing I wanted to bring up was Monica's body. You know, her. I think it's finally starting to show her transforming into Photon. You know.
Yeah.
I think it's starting to confirm that.
Yeah. I don't think there's like, I don't know, like, I was be like, that's dumb if they don't do that. Like,
I mean, they've got the perfect setup. The thing that I'm thinking of the most is that when they brought her in, and they were running the tests on her, and they brought it up that they were like, oh, we're gonna have to run these tests again. This is weird. The pages, the things are blank, and we're gonna need to run blood tests. I think that's the opportunity, more or less than anything, to be like, something's changed with you. What's going on? Well, you know, what can at that point we can be like, molecularly something's different about you.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
like, and she kind of like rushed it aside. She was like, I gotta go.
That too. I think it would be worthless for the MCU to just brush it aside. You know, why bring it up to begin with? But all right, and then so after we see Monica for the first time in getting her tests and stuff, she's introduced to Darcy, and so we bring that back in, and they're all in this meeting, and Hayward, you know, he's just a piece of shit, and he starts like just trying to run through everything, and Wu makes the comment. What is it? Well, that's a gross understatement.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and insensitive.
Yeah, he's insulted by.
Yeah, he's upset by the
insensitivity of what the Maximoffs went through.
Because obviously, she was like from what was it, Sokovia? No, from somewhere, I can't remember. Maybe it was Sokovia.
Yeah, they're from Sokovia. And they had been like tested on by Hydra or something like that.
I was kind of reading about that last episode, and whenever she came out of the world, she had that old accent like she did in.
Exactly. Everything changes the moment she stepped out, and that brings up another thing that for me is that how. I've heard rumors of how long this is supposed to be after Endgame. But I mean, episode 4, she's coming back from the blip, and
she's still wearing the same clothes.
And she's still, and Wanda's still wearing the same things she was wearing in Endgame. So how far away is this? How quick is everything happening?
For some reason, I want to say 2 years after everybody was snapped, and then like that was all that no.
There's no way because Monica's brought in after everything's said and done. Monica comes in as everybody snapped back into reality, and
okay. So Spider-Man: Far From Home is 2 years after the snap. Mm-hmm. And this is before Far From Home. So it's right after the snap and right before Far From Home.
Well, I mean, what I'm getting at is this has got to be this is right after Endgame. This has to be.
Yeah.
She's dealing with this grief. I mean, immediately. I mean, there's going to be a reason Agnes is such a big part in the sitcom. She's obviously playing a big role post Endgame.
I know. It's pretty hilarious that it's that one actress from Step Brothers playing Agnes.
Agnes, yeah. Oh, I want you inside me. I just want to feel your hair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that chick. She's hilarious.
All right. What else? Okay, so I have written down Wanda breaking rules as breaking Vision's character. So that being what I'm trying to say is, Vision and Wanda have a predetermined set of rules as of the first episode, and because Wanda's starting to break them here, fifth episode in, it's starting to break Vision's character and make him realize what's going on in the world.
Yeah, because I think it was like episode 3, but she like controlled Vision's. She like rebooted it, like kind of. Because Vision said, "We need to get out of here. This isn't our actual home, honey." And then it just like went back a few 30 seconds, and he was like, "I love you, honey." And then he got on the couch.
Yeah, everything's fine. Yeah.
Now she can't do that, I guess.
Yeah.
In the last episode, she tried to roll the credits on Vision. It was pretty hilarious.
I think. God, my notes. I hate this.
Me too.
I think. My thought process behind it all is that Vision's starting to regain his power more and more as the episodes go on. So that being said, episode 3, you see Vision is like a walking corpse,
Right.
So this
that was pretty wild.
So this being episode 5 now, he keeps saying stuff like, "You can't control me like you control the others." If that's the truth, then he's got to be resurrecting to some point, and he's gaining his power back. And whether it be the fake stone that they were making in Wakanda, if it, possibly it got made, and it's just missing a few elements or something.
Well, it was said, I thought, that she had the power to create the stones. Or no?
She had the power to destroy stones, I'm pretty sure.
I thought we had listened to something that said that she could create them. Or that's what they were trying to do, was create with all the energy.
I think Amanda is onto something, because I feel like something about the Mind Stone has to do with what's going on and her recreating it.
And maybe that's why he's coming back to life.
Well, that being said,
If he is.
My big
He's
thing...
like a backup battery for the Mind Stone, basically,
Right. And that's why he can do
the
everything he can.
Well, if you
because he's a computer himself, But also a sneak peek into 6 or 7, where he comes out into. He comes from the wall, the force field. He comes out, but it says, also says that he is so weak that he's like, something is pulling me down as he's leaving the thing. But it's like a sneak peek.
Here,
I think he's got it pulled up.
Yeah, let me pull it.
And it shows it, and it shows him.
Give me a second.
Coming out, and he's alive.
That's cool.
Are you?
Okay.
Hey, I know her.
Hey, I know her.
Nice pants.
We now have first-person intel from inside the Westview anomaly.
What are we looking at
Oh,
here?
the
Is it
anomaly.
alternate reality?
Yeah, I think
We'll
that's
have to-
cool is that they call it the Maximoff anomaly.
No, but he does.
Yeah.
Vision calls it that.
That's because he gets the email.
Oh, that's right.
From Sword.
That's right.
So.
That's right.
But yeah.
Time travel.
It's a sitcom.
Starring 2 Avengers?
It's a working theory.
Well, I know the apron is a bit much, dear, but I am doing my best to blend in. Hello, dear. Hiya, kid. Hi, kiddo.
See, so that's I don't know if you just saw just then.
Her age progression.
But her age as this has got to be the next episode with the Modern Family-esque type sitcom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life moves pretty fast out in this
It looks
suburb.
like it. I want to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take it from the top.
I don't know how any of this started.
Wait a second.
Outside of Westview.
Yeah.
Stop. Wait. What happened to Emma Caulfield? She was the girl in episode 1 or 2 where she was like, "I don't trust you."
Dottie. So I think she's gonna come back as something bigger than what we expect, and that's why they're keeping her a secret, or that's why they haven't shown her since she was the first to bleed red. And then they awkwardly changed it because she says, "How does a housewife get it out?" Well, she does it herself. Okay,
Yeah.
but why would you say that though? So.
Yeah, that's weird. That's
It's
not
weird.
right.
It's
Emma
weird.
in the whole series. What or isn't that thing? What the fuck? I mean, what's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah. All right.
Okay, play it again.
So and
And they're trying to get in.
that must be the so in this episode how they're talking about how they need this big hunk of machine on wheels, and even then they still don't know if they're gonna be able to if it won't change them once they hit it. But all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about. It's probably just a case of the Mondays. Am I right?
Right
Yeah,
there.
there
All
it
right.
was.
That's crazy.
It's a quick blip it.
Oh man, I mean it's even hard to catch her. So you can see he's
He's in
breaking
pain.
the wall right here, but he's alive. He's got it. He's resurrected. That's him breaking that wall past Westview.
Could die right after. You never know.
Yeah.
Like he could, you never know.
I mean,
never know.
I think it's insane that just right there, instantly you can see, and he's not a dead corpse. But anyways,
Yeah. Who knows?
And he gets like visibly angry with her.
Yes,
It
Yeah,
shows his
I would
power even more so.
yeah, which I think is, like I said, which brings me back to where I think he's being resurrected, and that Grim Reaper theory coming into play. I think he's getting his powers back.
Well, and
Yeah.
she says, "You've never said this to me. You've never talked to me like this before."
Yeah.
And he said, "Before what?" He literally has
Yeah.
no idea, which broke my heart. He said, "I'm scared." Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty sad, dude. Yeah, I like it. It's a good show.
I mean, it's great so far, but
Mm-hmm.
Are you crying?
Yes.
I'm invested.
I'm invested. Exactly.
What if they change it up and they make Emma Caulfield like the Grim Reaper? Like the Grim Reaper, a girl instead of a guy. Like he's a guy in the comic book. Like that'd be crazy.
oh yeah, so Agnes is the Grim Reaper maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, there's so many elements. So like,
I know.
to skip forward a little bit, the mailman being not being under control of everything. I think that's wild.
Oh my god. And
Oh,
another
Dottie,
episode,
that's
they
who
had
he's
all the
saying.
pictures, everybody's ID of who's stuck in the city, in Wanda City. They had Agnes and the mailman, and they didn't have like any information on them.
Mhm.
Like if you go back to that episode and look at all those people on the wall, like they don't have any ID or anything. They just have like a very vague description of them. And they
Exactly.
might not even have that mailman on there. Like he only shows up like he showed up last time whenever he found that right before Wanda found the helicopter or something, and now he showed up right before the dog
Yes.
died.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like he might be something bad.
Exactly, and then he's talking about how your mom won't let her get far.
Hey, was that him in the Lagos commercial? Was that him
Wait.
also?
Was that the mailman?
in the Lagos commercial?
I don't think so, but
It looked like him a little bit.
it does look like him a little bit. I thought that.
I thought it last night, and I wasn't sure.
And which brings me back to the commercials. If you notice, it's the same woman in every commercial.
Yeah, I think it's the same woman and man every commercial.
And so
Yeah,
I think that's interesting to see what why is that? I wonder if they're big players. What,
I don't know. It's weird because they're always like every commercial has something to do with Wanda's trauma, basically traumatic past. Like
Mhm.
Watch Stryker was that guy who had her like as a prisoner for a long time.
Strucker, yeah.
Strucker,
Strucker, Striker,
Yeah.
something like that.
And yeah, that's wild. But yeah, in Lagos, that's where she destroyed and killed a bunch of innocent people for the beginning of Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's where he
It's
brings
insane.
Norm out.
Oh yeah, him breaking Norm. I think that's wild.
And they're all talking in unison, but why?
Yeah, that's.
Oh,
why?
When they read the email, why is everything in unison?
Why is that such a such a monumental thing that they all said it together and that's what he hears because he's a computer.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is he amplifying the signal or something?
Oh.
Where is Emma Caulfield?
Right. I had to look. So I had to look her back.
So now she's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Who is she? Who is she going to be? Because you also don't see her in any of the trailer footage either.
No, yeah.
And she was the first. That's it. I don't like you.
Yeah, she was blunt about it, and just downright kind of ugly. And people in the city looked to her, and they wanted to know her and be like her. And then it was like for the children. So like that was Dottie's big thing, for the children. And like I said, she was the first to bleed red, or to bleed in general, in the show.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next on the notes?
Let me see. I think so. Earlier, y'all were talking about we were talking about the stones. I think that she has somehow acquired the reality stone, and that's why the walls become red now.
Wanda?
Yeah.
She's always been red, though.
Well, I mean, her powers always come from the Mind Stone, hasn't it? I mean...
No.
But she does. She's like Professor X, but a way stronger. She's like kinetic and she's telekinetic. Like she can move stuff, but she can also just
Yeah, because I remember, in Age of Ultron, where she'd go up and touch someone and everything would be different.
Oh yeah, and it would show like their worst nightmares.
Exactly. That's how Ultron started.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's wild, and then like I said, and then to kind of bring it all back to Evan Peters, how cool they're bringing in the X-Men finally, and for it to be confirmed is Disney purchasing Fox back in 2019, for $71.3 billion. That I know. So the fact that it's it's real as it can get. Evan Peters is Quicksilver in a MCU TV show.
I know. Oh my god.
So
wait. Never mind. Go on.
No, I think that's pretty much kind of wraps it up for us. I mean, I feel like we've hit every point we can as far as this episode goes. Because I'm
also the powers don't work on either one of the kids. I was reading the notes about the kids.
Yeah, I brought that up earlier about how the powers aren't working on the kids, and it feels like the kids know something that they, like I feel like the kids have seen something that Wanda's cut out of the show.
In the comic books, where did the kids come from?
What'd you say?
In the comic books, where do the kids come from?
From Vision and Scarlet Witch, the
but
comics.
He can't
yeah.
She just ends up pregnant in the comics too.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just like the show. Yeah, and I'm so confused, man. I'm stressing over this now. Where did Emma Caulfield go?
Where did Emma Caulfield go? Where are you?
She'll be there. I bet. I mean, they bring her in. I hope. I mean, I'd hate to think that they just throw the away.
No, she can't. She can't. She has too much. Like I said, she was too blunt of knowing why she didn't like Wanda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they didn't introduce anybody else and then just throw them away. Like so far.
Right.
So far, so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
so that's nuts, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do some digging.
Yeah, and like I said, I can't wait for next week's show.
I know.
Next week's episode, and then I think we'll try to get this one out a little earlier next week too. As far as our breakdown, maybe post show, something like that.
That's cool. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you stopping in and taking the time to just kind of sit and talk with us for a second.
No, it was great.
Yeah, no problem. Like again, everybody, Chance Myers, he's gonna be our Marvel Universe enthusiast or expert. Amanda.
I just like conflict. Go on.
I wanna thank Amanda for sitting in with us and giving her input as well. That being said,
Hang on.
Okay.
What if they got that guy from Letterkenny, like the main guy who's always beating people's asses? What if they got him to play Wolverine?
Why would they do that?
Why would they do that?
He's a short Canadian. And he's like, and he's tough.
That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
That's who I want to play Wolverine.
No way, Wolverine's coming back as himself.
Hugh Jackman's coming back.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. So we'll catch you guys next week. All right, and y'all have a good one. Bye.
Bye.